Hey guys, on today's episode of Smash in a Flash, I'm going to be talking about baits. And so baits are one of the most important concepts of fighting games, period, in my opinion, and it's going to be hard to discuss this in 5 minutes. But basically a bait is when you trick your opponent into thinking they can attack you, knowing that they can't. Basically it's setting a trap, making your opponent overcommit, or just forcing your opponent to use an option that you're ready to punish. And so baits are important because essentially fighting games are largely about baits. If you look at players like Nairo and Zero Play, you'll see them using a lot of things like spacing right outside the opponent's attack range and punish them for whiffing an attack. They'll use an attack that looks punishable when it's really not, etc., etc. You can use a bait for almost anything. And so, instead of explaining all of the intricate mechanics, ideas, and mind behind baits, I'm just going to show a few examples of with Ryu, of how to use baits, how to trick your opponent to attacking you, and then using those positions to punish them, or at least put yourself in a neutral position. So, Ryu has a few built-in baits. One of them is his Shoryuken. If you do the up B Shoryuken, not the input version, there's actually a bit of landing lag. It's very easy to punish that. However, if you do an input Shoryuken with Ryu, I can do it. There we go. There is significantly less landing lag. In fact, I don't think there is a single landing lag frame on input Shoryuken. So as soon as Ryu touches the platform, he can shield. And what's good about this is if Falcon or anyone will try to hit Ryu with an aerial that isn't a command grab as he lands on the platforms and shield, they wouldn't get any hits on them. They would just hit his shield and potentially give Ryu a chance to up B out shield, as you can see there. And similarly, I could up B out shield to the next platform and still have no landing lag if I did the input version. And that's a really good bait because my opponent thinks they can punish me when they actually can't, and if they try to, they put themselves in a bad spot. And so the ideal option for them is actually to do nothing except wait for me to try to get off the platform. And so that's a good example of a bait. Another one would be using focus attack, which is literally the bait move. It's super armor for one hit. If the opponent hits you, you can let go of the attack and give them a crumple and give yourself a full punish. However, if you want to, you can just dash cancel out of this, which reduces your opening to be attacked. So if a Falcon were to forward smash me here, which I can't do because I'm doing this by myself, I could focus attack that forward smash and punish him. I can even do it preemptively, expecting a forward smash or a back air or a single hit attack, and get that punish. And if I think the Falcon is going for something like a jab, which would be 2 hits, I can focus and then dash back. And if the Falcon tries doing jab, that'll give me an opening to dash attack him because he used an attack and he whiffed it. And so that focus attack is essentially a built-in bait because you're trying to make your opponent hit you when they can't. And similarly, in the air, it functions the same way. If my opponent tries to go for an aerial hit on me, focus, I can dash back if they hit me with a neutral air multi-hit move, or if they just want to come in and general to an aerial, I can use that fact I can dash out of it to land and make it harder to hit me, give myself these openings, put myself in a good position, just because my opponent committed to the aerial and jumping. And so that's a good example of a bait. Or even simply just being in the air. If I see someone jumping at me and I still have a double jump, I could just go jump, fast fall forward air, jump, fast fall down air, just do any jump away and then go back at my opponent with aerial after they whiff their attack. This is something you'll see a lot of good zero suits do with their back air, is they will be near you and then jump back and then fast fall back air when you whiff the aerial. And it's a very strong option. And projectiles, a lot of characters have their own form of projectile baits. So like Ryu, for example, his Hadouken, if you try rolling to Ryu and it is his Hadouken, and you do it a bit late, he gets a Shoryuken on you. So you have to be very fast with rolling. If you try jumping at Ryu, he can just Shoryuken your jumping attempts. And in Street Fighter games, this is actually one of the most important tactics, is you make your opponent think they can jump over your Hadouken, and then you punish them with a Shoryuken for doing that. And in fact, I think Street Fighter is the best way to learn how to play a high bait style. Yeah, those are just some examples of baits. Pretty much anything can be used as a bait as long as there's enough time for you to act out of whatever you're doing. And even if you don't punish your opponent, just establishing a better position, or just getting an idea of what your opponent to do, getting some sort of read on them, it's always worth it. If you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, leave them in the video below. If you like this video, subscribe. I'm going to be making more content, hopefully on a more regular basis. So until then, I'll see you guys next time.